By April 14th, 1865, the Civil War was over. The Union had prevailed, but peace was short-lived. A band of conspirators, led by John Wilkes Booth, were already plotting. These are the people who came dangerously close to toppling the U.S. government. One, John Wilkes Booth himself. This man you probably already know. A loyal Confederate, Booth's original plan was to kidnap the president. But after a foiled attempt in March, the plot evolved into a triple assassination of the most powerful men in the U.S. government: President Abraham Lincoln, Vice President Andrew Johnson, and Secretary of State William Seward. The Civil War had ended just 2 weeks earlier. While the Confederacy had officially surrendered, Booth believed that eliminating the Union's leadership could salvage the insurrection. But he needed help. 2. Lewis Powell, aka Lewis the Terrible, a battle-hardened Confederate soldier and a close ally of Booth. Powell's job? To assassinate Seward. On the night of April 14th, Powell headed to Seward's home with 3. David Herold, a pharmacist's assistant familiar with Maryland's backwoods. He was to accompany Powell on his mission, except he panicked and ran. Powell stayed behind and viciously attacked Seward and several members of his household. Despite severe wounds, Seward survived. Powell sought refuge at the boarding house of 4. Mary Surratt. Her boarding house was a gathering spot for the conspirators. She was guilty by association, partly due to her son, 5. John Surratt, a college-educated Confederate spy recruited to ferry a captive Lincoln across the Potomac River into Virginia. When the plan shifted to murder, he fled to Europe. Before escaping, he introduced Booth to 6. George Atzerodt, a boatman with a deep knowledge of waterways and committed to the kidnapping plot. But when assigned to kill Vice President Johnson, things went sideways. An armed Atzerodt showed up at Johnson's hotel, but didn't make it farther than the bar. After several drinks, he lost his nerve and fled. We all know what happened to Lincoln. Booth assassinated him at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. But what happened next? Booth went on the run with Herold and was eventually located at a Virginia farm. While Herold gave himself up to the troops, Booth refused to surrender. Authorities set the barn on fire and fatally shot Booth in the neck. John Surratt was captured in Egypt, tried back in America, and acquitted. His mother? Well, she wasn't so lucky. She, Powell, Atzerodt, and Herold were found guilty and hanged. Mary Surratt was the first woman executed by the U.S. federal government. As for Booth, his act of political violence ensured that he would be remembered not as a hero, but as the villainous assassin of one of America's most beloved presidents.